All right, then. So we've done a preview to this on the program this morning, and it's all going to be what we need to do and how we need to organize ourselves during this period. We're scrutinizing Lawma's strategies for effective waste management during the Yuletide season. And joining me in the studios this morning is a great friend of the house, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin, is Managing Director, Lagos Waste Management Authority, Lawma. Nice to have you in the building. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Victor.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
Compliments of the season to you and to all your listeners.
Same to you too. It's been a long time you've been in the studios, right? It's been quite a while, right? Even though we know your program features prominently on this frequency. So I'm going to give you a test right now. Look to your left. We have the big screens showing the roads. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
And what do you make of that, really?
Well, relatively free-flowing traffic.
Free, right?
Yes.
Any of those areas you can identify there? Can you tell me?
I see Bagada.
Oh, okay.
I see Jota Interchange.
Right.
Iyanowuro.
Okay. So
Anthony Bus Stop.
Wonderful.
Alakpere Junction.
Wonderful.
And some parts of Oshodi.
MD, you're so familiar with the roads in Lagos. So one of these days we exchange roads.
I move around quite a bit.
Yes.
I'm always on the move.
Okay, so I'll come and stay in your office and then you'll come and report traffic on Traffic Radio. Is that okay?
Anytime.
All right, so you're welcome. All right,
Thank
so
you.
before we delve into the subject of managing waste during this season, let's just take some little time, Managing Director, to do some reflections on your mandate as an agency vis-a-vis the outgoing year 2024. How's it been for Lawma?
It's been quite an eventful year. As many of you are familiar with the themes agenda of the administration, Lawma's mandate is embedded in the H of the Themes Plus agenda of the Sanwo-Olu administration.
Okay.
And that H has to do with health and environment. And it's our belief and the plans that we've put into place is to ensure that we have a clean environment, to ensure that Lagosians are healthy, and to ensure also that you have a conducive atmosphere in order for us to conduct our daily activities, our businesses, our recreation.
Right.
So it's very important for us to ensure that the environment is always clean and sanitized, and that we're managing our wastes sustainably.
Right. And in terms of the landmarks now in this year, 2024, what are the things that stands out for you? I mean, from what you guys have been doing?
Well, for me, what we've done is that we've taken determined steps to change the narrative of waste management from a linear approach, which means that we're generating waste, transporting it, and burying it in the landfill, to a circular approach where we have the modern waste infrastructure for us to process that waste into items of value. And specifically, we've signed memorandums of understanding this year with private investors, both local and international, who are ready to pump in the huge investments required for us to upgrade the entire waste management infrastructure around the state.
Right. So meaning that very, very soon, some of this waste that we just threw around will turn into something else and make the economy much more vibrant?
Absolutely. Just give you one example. We have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Jospon Group of Ghana and their local subsidiary, Zoom Lion Nigeria, from next month will break ground on a new material recovery facility. Actually, two new facilities, one in Ikorodu and one in Badagry. And those facilities will enable us to shut down Olushosun dump site at Ojota and also the Solus 3 dump site.
All right. We'll still come to that, Managing Director. But a lot of times when we talk about this, and now you just, also commented that we're going to be having lots in terms of infrastructural renewal. Do you have enough waste, for all of this to take place? Talk to me in terms of the volume of waste generated in Lagos. What does the figures say at the moment?
We have roughly 25 million people in Lagos, according to the State Bureau of Statistics. So that's the projected population. And each of us is generating at least half a kilogram of waste every day. That translates into anywhere between 12 to 14,000 tons of waste daily. And we see this waste, we're able to collect a significant proportion of that waste And what we're trying to do is to establish facilities that can process all of that, at least 95% of that waste, either into things like compost that we can use for our greening projects and for agricultural projects, or to biogas that we can use to power the transport fleet, because we're transiting to CNG,
Right.
and the CNG engines can also use biogas, or directly into energy through waste to energy plants.
Right. So where are we with all of this now? Because
We're at the beginning stages. If you're talking about a journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with one step.
Right.
And what we've done is to take steps that are going to put us onto that path. It will take a few years, but we've taken the first steps. And what we've also done, in order for us to be able to convert waste into value, the first step is containerization and sorting of waste at source. So one very important step we've introduced is the 2-bin system in Lagos, and Mr. Governor introduced this about 2 years ago.
All right.
We have 2 bins with which we are rolling out to residents around the state that they can use to separate their waste from the household. And that makes it easier for us to now take that waste to the appropriate treatment facilities.
All right. Let's talk about behavior modification and in all of this, because I know it's one thing for Lawma to be collecting the waste. It's another thing for those who are residents and those who do work here in Lagos to be able to abide with the necessary laws that govern waste management. How is Lawma really, citing all of this? Amidst the sometimes you still find huge tons of waste that are dumped on our roads. I went to some localities in Lagos not too long ago, Ikotun to be precise, and I even found out that even by afternoon, you had the roads adorned with wastes, bags of waste now, and people are even sitting around and all of that. So how is that campaign going in terms of the advocacy for people to know that, look, this is not right?
We have a very strong advocacy program which goes out into the communities every day. And, as you can't just use advocacy to convince our people to do the right thing. We're all Nigerians, and you know what I'm talking about. And that's why we also have a very strong enforcement program. Since last year, we've arrested hundreds of who we've taken to court, charged to court, and who have served various sentences, including community service. And even as we speak, we have about 60 people who are undergoing trial for doing exactly what you just talked about.
Right.
And we have teams that go out and do surveillance. They capture them on video quietly, and then we are able to then arrest them with sufficient evidence to prosecute them in court.
Right.
And we're going to scale up this approach.
And what kind of punishment are dished out to this kind of offenders?
It ranges from fines to prison time to community service, where we use them to clean the roads. And, but for us, the best form of behavioral modification is the advocacy and educating people that the waste they're dumping is actually not waste and that it has value. And in order for them to believe that, we are introducing programs, recycling programs. We have hundreds of recycling companies that we've licensed who are available to collect your waste, especially if it's sorted. And these people go out into the community, into estates, even into indigenous communities, and they're willing to buy what you think is waste,
right, and
give you incentives for it.
That's for the recycling program?
Yes. So if you are interested in this, you can always reach out to us on our toll-free line, which is 070-8060-1020.
Okay.
And also 080000 Lawma. That's 080000529962. I'm sure I'll still repeat those numbers later in the program.
Yes. Now, a school of thought believes that, maybe some of these people that are found dumping indiscriminately or some carrying their waste from one location to the other will say, the reason why we're doing that is because we do not see those that will come around to come and pick it. So let's talk about the PSP program. How is that program doing, by the way?
The PSP program is the bedrock of our waste management system in Lagos. We have 420 PSP operators who have been assigned, roughly to the system of wards in Lagos. We have 377 wards. So some wards have more than one operator. So there's nowhere in Lagos that doesn't have a PSP operator.
Even to the inner part of Ikorodu,
even to the inner, everywhere
Ekpe
has been assigned. Now, yes, obviously, there may be some irregularities in service or difficulties. And when we ask people that when you have difficulties, you've paid and the PSP operator is not coming on time, reach out to us. There's never an excuse for you to go and place your waste in a public space. You can reach out to us. Worst case scenario, we will come and collect it from you.
Right.
And we will talk to the PSP operator and ensure that they rectify whatever gap in service you have. And, just by calling that 070-8060-1020, you will see a response. And even on our social media handles, at Lawma_gov, and my own personal handle, you can reach out to me. There's no excuse for placing waste in public spaces. You're endangering your neighbors, because that waste is something that can easily lead to epidemics. And of course, like you said, it's unsightly. Who wants to drive around seeing waste on the road?
Okay, there's this persistent caller that has been calling. Let's see if I can just take this call. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Abbas.
Abbas, how you doing?
I'm fine. I'm calling you from Agor Kota Palace Way.
All right, Abbas, I have the managing director of Lawma here with me in the studio.
Yes, I've always engaged him on his personal handle on Twitter, and his response has been very awesome, and yes, kudos to him.
Okay.
He's actually doing his work very well.
Okay.
Yes. But the thing I noticed about most of my complaint is that they are hardly taken seriously from Lawma. Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because most of the things that we complain about, I still see them happening regularly, and they don't even come to evacuate. Even after I complained to him, the only time they came to evacuate the ones on the road along Okota stretch was once, and even when they came down once, they did not even evacuate properly. They only took part of it, and they sent a video to him, which he shared with me. I'm sure if you remember, he shared the video with me that they evacuated. Meanwhile, it was not the places that I even complained about that they sent the video. So somebody was lying to him about what they did. Okay. Then again, he mentioned something about enforcement, which I feel is what they should do. Okay. On Agor stretch, I don't know who is managing Agor Road. Agor is just like a forgotten area in Lagos State in terms of everything. Even the road network now, everything is in shambles in Agor Road. So when you come to Agor Strait, maybe you can take a walk come through that axis himself. From the stretch, from all the way from Agor Junction down to Agor Bridge.
Okay.
The whole place is littered with garbage. Then PSP, about the PSP that he's talking about, I've had time to even complain to him too. Now, some of the PSP operators are not functional. Some of them, they take weeks, like with you, sometimes it's 4 weeks, 5 weeks before they come to evacuate. And we are paying, and you are saying that people should not patronize.
Okay, so there's a question I would like to ask you, Abbas. Do you know the name of these operators? The name of the operators there that are not functioning effectively?
There's one Universal. There's one Universal Global Service that operates around Alidada. The irony of it is that these people are even located on the street where they are supposed to evacuate. They have the office on the street where they are supposed to evacuate, but they don't even come to do anything at all. You beg, and we are paying for their services.
Okay.
Every month, every 2 months, we pay for the services. So I think in terms of enforcement, you people need to do more. Not just paying, not just advocacy alone. We know a lot of us don't like to do the right thing, but not just advocacy alone. And if you don't want us to patronize car pushers, let all your PSP operators, let them be responsible too. We cannot have death in front of your house, and you have children moving around, and you expect people not to do something about it.
Thank you so much, Abbas, for your contribution this morning. We do appreciate you. He has listed a potpourri of complaints that he would like the MD to attend to. Maybe you can just quickly address them. But by the way, for the calls, we hold it a bit for now. Let's allow the MD respond to some of the concerns we're raising before we can, take in some more. Right. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Abbas. And sorry for these unpleasant experiences. I think I agree with you on the need for more vigorous and sustained enforcement. In that line, we're working with the Environmental Task Force.
Okay.
And we've identified several areas around the state with lingering problems. And for Agor Palace Way in particular, there's a lot of issues, things
that you've
with respect
noticed.
to do. Yes, there's a lot of illegal roadside trading. There's dumping, some by residents, some by people driving past.
All right.
There's a lot of activity at
Do you have
night.
any kind of engagement with all the commercial people? I mean, the marketers, for instance.
Yes, we do. And many of them are not enlisted with PSP operators. And like I said, we're going to move in with the Environmental Task Force. We don't have the kind of enforcement. We're not an enforcement agency. We're a regulatory authority.
Right.
So in
you
order
need to
for us,
do
we're
more
going to partner.
collaboration.
Yes, we're going to do more collaboration, and we've engaged with them. And starting from this January, we'll move in with that, because what happens is that in an area like Agor Palace Way, we can clear traffic twice a day. I mean, clear waste twice a day,
Right.
and there will still be waste.
Definitely.
In fact, the more efficiently we clear the waste from where it's not supposed to be, it's like we're encouraging people to bring more.
To bring more. Okay, so and that's something that you need to deal with,
Yes.
right?
And with respect to the PSP operators, the state government is introducing some measures to upgrade the fleets. Many of them are struggling because of the economic conditions,
That's right.
change in FX rates, increased price of diesel. So we're putting together a package of supports, including procurement
Refitting?
of new trucks.
Okay.
And we're also looking at ways of enhancing their cost recovery, and also stricter monitoring. As a matter of fact, the new bins that I spoke about earlier are smart bins, which have embedded RFID technology that will let us know when the PSP operator empties your bin.
Oh, so
in
you
your
have the
house.
record of that?
Yes, we'll have a record of that.
Oh, good.
And with that, we'll be able to monitor them
Right.
more efficiently.
And that will provide some levels of enforcement as well.
Yes.
Okay,
So
then.
we're not running away from the issues, but we don't want to continue like a dog chasing its own tail, just doing the same thing over and over. We need to look for ways to fix these problems once and for all. So Abbas, I plead with you not to engage with cart pushers.
Right.
Yeah.
So
continue
where's
working with them.
where's the role of cart pushers in all of this? I mean, what's the position
you
of
see,
government?
Cart pushers are not. They collect waste from you, and they come and dump in the public space.
Right.
So yeah, we can't. It's just not something that we can use as a sustainable means of waste disposal. However, what one of the measures we're introducing is to bring in different types of equipment for those areas that are hard to reach.
Right.
There's a role for equipment like tricycle compactors, which we're bringing in with the Zoom Lion, and perhaps some of them can be engaged
in those areas.
Yes, but then they would have a designated transfer loading station for them to take that waste to, not to the road.
Yeah, because a lot of
for
concerns. Yes, a lot of concerns have been raised about that in the past, and people have said, look, why not the government enlist these cart pushers? Since people are closer to them, let them be enlisted in the system, and then they'll be given where they can dump those waste instead of dumping them in the canal. So you're saying moving forward, you're likely going to be enlisting some of them in some localities?
In some areas with hard to reach, maybe the roads are
pretty hard,
impassable,
right.
Or there are areas with very narrow streets. We'll look for. As a matter of fact, we're already piloting tricycle compactors in Ibejuleki local government in partnership with the local government authorities there.
Okay, so that one's on already.
It's going on well, yes, because in that area there are a lot of roads where the compactors cannot even reach.
Right. Dr. Gbadegesin, I need you to project more to the microphone. So let's talk about technology now. Even though you've mentioned one of them moving forward, you did say that very, very soon we have these waste bins that are going to be, embedded with some kind of chips that will make it possible for you to control and monitor them. But are there other new technologies or innovations that Lawma is coming up with to leverage on improving waste collection?
Oh yes, I mean we have we currently are tracking all our trucks. We want to extend that tracking also to the PSP fleets, so we can see where they're going, how they're working. In the area of enforcement, we're introducing CCTV cameras and drones to monitor activities in areas with a lot of problems of illegal dumping. We're introducing that also from this coming January.
Great.
And we are upgrading the Lawma app so that, when you have recyclable materials or you want to enlist in a recycling program, you can do that directly from our Lawma app.
What's the app called?
It will be it's just Lawma.
Okay. So once you go on the App Store, one can download it.
On the App Store and on Google Play.
Oh, good.
Yes.
All right, then Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM. This is Your Side Mirror this wonderful Monday morning. And today we have the Managing Director of Lawma with us in the building, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin. And we're looking at Lawma strategies for effective waste collection during this season and, of course, projecting into the future as well. Very shortly, I'll allow you to join the conversation, but let's get back to the roads. Of course, we did tell you that most of the areas we're covering still looking pretty good at this time. Let me see. The update from Ikeja here says Awolowo away from Alausa to Radio, looking pretty good for now, but it's busy from Radio inwards Allen. That's the intersection there. Allen inwards Ikeja is good. And of course, the return journey to Ikeja, that's Ikeja inwards Allen, also looking good. And Allen connecting Radio. It's a moving traffic, but good to go too, up to Alausa. Latif Jack on the road from Coca-Cola connecting Cadbury is looking good, though we have the traffic light functioning at that particular location. And then we can tell from there to Wemco, looking good too. Return journey from Wemco to Coca-Cola, very much in good shape. Aromire from Allen intersection, connecting Hako is on a good note too. And then the return journey from Hako, linking up with Aromire, is also looking pretty good. Let's return to the issue of the infrastructure, which you mentioned earlier on. Before now, we've always talked about the landfill site being a major source of problem. Where are we with the types of innovation that is needed for a state like Lagos in terms of landfills?
So for us in Lagos, there's hardly any land available to open new landfills. And that's why we are changing the system of treating waste to material recovery facilities. The landfills, in particular the landfill at Olusosun, and that's at Ojota, and the one at that we call Solus 3 at Igondo, will be replaced with transfer loading stations. So that means that the compactor trucks will come in, dump their waste. The waste will be compacted into long distance trailers. So from Igondo, we'll take the waste to Badagry, which will have a material recovery facility, which is a contained facility where we can separate the waste into organic waste. We can separate out the metals. We can separate the plastics and any other useful fraction, which can then be shipped to the off-takers who need it, that they can repurpose into new materials.
All right.
So the landfill at Olusosun will be decommissioned, replaced with a transfer loading station. It should also be a contained facility. So you will see compactor trucks going in with waste, but you won't see the waste as it's being compacted into trailers. And then the trailers will come out, drive to the material recovery facility in Ikorodu, where it can also be safely treated.
So how many material recovery sites do we have?
We're starting with 2.
Okay.
So one in Ikorodu, one in Badagry.
All right.
Now, our landfill at Ekpe, which is it's also going to be decommissioned, will be replaced by a waste-to-energy plant, which will generate 60 to 80 megawatts of electricity from waste. And that will consume about 2,500 tons of waste daily.
Right.
And that means that Ekpe, which, as we know, is a fast-growing area of the state with many major projects, like the Dangote refinery, the deep sea ports, Lekki Free Trade Zone, the Film City, which is by Lagos State, and the new international airport that the state government is constructing.
Right.
So that area will have a safer, more modern, and better means of waste disposal.
All right,
so
Dr. Gbadegesin,
into the future.
I can tell you the lines are buzzing forever. Let's see if we can begin to take some calls right now. First up, hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Olamide.
Olamide, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ogba.
All right, then, Olamide, let's hear you.
Yeah, I just compliment of the season. I
Same to
just want to give kudos to the Lawma guys. I noticed they came to pick up our waste yesterday.
Okay.
Being a Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, so it means they are definitely working overtime during this festive season. So kudos.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to give them kudos.
All right, then. Thank you so much for that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Olamide.
Okay, so Olamide is commending you, and same for some messages that are coming in here. But quickly, let me just allow you to talk about what you guys are doing this season. This is the festive season. Any new strategies that you're putting in place for effective waste collection?
This is one of my favorite times of the year, because it's a time for us to express joy, to express gratitude to God for bringing us through the year. And we know that everyone is in that mood of celebration, which means that there's going to be more consumption, more food, more drink. So before the beginning of the festive season, we rolled out and doubled our shifts, because it's important that if people are celebrating, that they are able to do that in a clean environment. It enhances the feel-good atmosphere.
That's right.
We're able to do a lot of cleaning, and in throughout the season, while other people are taking a break, stepping back and relaxing, we're actually rolling out more. So our staff were working throughout the holidays.
Okay.
On Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and we'll be working on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as well. We ensure that the trucks are rolling around. Those of you who are out and about, you would have seen that our trucks are moving, so that we're able to increase our response time to clear waste. We also went to a lot of communities and distributed bin bags.
Oh, okay.
To help people to give them a means of storing their waste.
All right.
And
so that is on right now.
And that's still ongoing.
Right.
We also did a lot of advocacy, of course, and we increased our monitoring. Our monitoring and enforcement.
Okay, then.
Throughout the state.
Wait, let's see if we can still take some more reactions as well. 08099120777, 09153877127. Those are the numbers that you can call. Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin, the managing director of Lawma, is here with us in the studios this morning, and we're looking at perhaps talking all things waste management during this season. The question here says, "Good morning, Traffic Radio. How does Lawma ensure its strategies are inclusive, considering Lagos' diverse population?" Kolawole is sending that one in. Kolawole, I don't know what you mean, but MD, do you understand him?
Yes.
Inclusive, Lagos' diverse population.
So, look, if you look at the Themes Plus agenda, plus means inclusivity.
Okay.
That means youth, women, old people, strangers, people who are here from Lagos. So we try to engage with everyone.
Right.
We go everywhere and we speak with everyone to ensure that everyone understands that if you live in Lagos, you must embrace good waste management. Not everyone who comes into Lagos understands that Lagos is different.
Right.
We do not dump our waste on the road in Lagos. So people who are doing that are probably not from Lagos, and therefore, what does that mean? We have to engage them.
Okay.
If they don't want to listen, then we enforce.
Yeah. All right. I was just curious there when it says inclusivity and then the diverse population. Waste generation is indiscriminate. That's what I think. Everybody generates waste. So
yes, but I think Lagos is the center of excellence.
Right.
And we won't be where we are today if we enjoyed dumping waste on the road.
That's very true.
Yeah.
All right. This one says,
you go to any other state and you see what's happening.
This one says, "Season's greetings, Dr. Muyiwa. Says, what tools or platforms does Lawma use to receive feedback from the public about waste management issues? Thanks." You didn't put your name. All right. So waste management issues. How do you reach out to?
We're present on all platforms. We're on Facebook. The handle is Lawma_gov. We're also on X, same handle, Lawma_gov. We're on Instagram, same handle, Lawma_gov. Like I mentioned, we also have the toll-free lines.
Okay.
070 80 60 10 20 and 0800005292. You can also reach out to us on email at info@lawma.gov.ng.
Okay. All right. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. What's the most challenging aspect of managing Lagos waste during this period? This is coming from Aduragbemi. Aduragbemi, thank you so much for this one. Well, you did say this is one of your most interesting times, right?
Yes, it is.
So you don't see it as a challenge?
Well, we love challenges. So that's what gets us up every day, because, you know, I derive a lot of energy from facing challenges. The biggest challenge is human behavior. You know, by the way, I'm a neuroscientist by training, by profession.
Wow.
My PhD is in neuroscience.
Okay.
A lot of people think I'm a medical doctor. I'm not.
I was thinking that too.
I'm a student of human behavior. And so this is the biggest challenge, because, as you know, you have 22 million people, and everyone has a tendency, you have individualistic tendencies. So we don't always operate in a way that enhances the collective good. So one of the biggest challenges is looking for how we can encourage people to operate as good citizens so that we can have a better community for all.
This one says, Dr. Gbadegesin, how do you ensure communities in remote areas of Lagos don't get overlooked during the holiday rush? Funke is sending that one in from Ikorodu.
Oh, we're present in Ikorodu, we're present in Badagry, we're present in Ekpe. So we have routes, we have trucks, and we have our workers out there. Both the trucks to evacuate waste and also street sweepers. I'm sure you would have noticed in Ikorodu that we have pretty good coverage with sweeping the streets. Same thing in Ekpe, same thing in Badagry. So there's no area of the state that we
leave out. Okay. All right. But there's this concern. Some say people living outside Lagos, they work in Lagos, and because they've seen the kind of structure that you guys have, some of them bring their waste from those other states and bring to Lagos. What would you say to those kind of people?
That is happening, and we frown on that. And that's another area that we're going to introduce better enforcement with in the new year. It's happening at the border areas. If you're driving along like Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, you notice that until you get to the border, everything is clean. Once you cross, you see a lot of waste on the median. And another thing we're doing is partnering more closely with neighboring states through training and collaboration, so that we can, because you can't just operate in a silo. And we do have some interaction and engagements with them.
All right. Well. This one says, good morning, Victor. And the MD, Lawma, say how much will the chipped waste bins be going for? That's the first question. It says number 2, is there payment for used tires, like used plastic bottles? But Batunde is sending that one in. Okay,
great. That's a great question. The bins are 75,000. You can buy them if you go to browse to buylawmabin.com.
Okay.
That's BUYLAWMABIN.com. Or by calling the toll-free lines that I gave out earlier.
Right.
So that price is a big discount. If you go on the market now, you find that waste bins are much more expensive.
All right.
Plus, we have a installmental payments plan.
Oh, that's available.
Which you can be paying 3,000 naira a month until you pay it off.
All right.
With respect to the tires, yes, there are recycling companies that are buying those tires. And once again, just reach out to us on the toll-free line or by email, and we'll connect you to those who are, who can come and pick up the
Dr.
tires.
Gbadegesin, there's no time you're here that we won't have so many reactions. This one says, good morning, sir. Kudos to the Lawma MD for the great works he's doing. It says, sir, thanks for your presence this morning. Please remember to include the border towns shared with Ogun and Oyo State in your plans. It says, secondly, of all penalties for enforcement so far, I suggest that Lawma should lay stricter emphasis on community services, which is more impactful and yields more positive results. Thanks. I think this is coming from Olu Aloko. Okay, Olu Aloko is a community advocate. All right. So he's saying that for more effectiveness, maybe you guys should do more of community enforcement. So to say, what's your response to that?
Absolutely. Well, the most common punishment now is community enforcement. I mean, community service, which involves cleaning the streets or drainages. And so we'll continue to use that because, as a matter of fact, there's not much space if you want to start putting people into jail. But what we're also looking at is how to make that punishment more meaningful. Because just a few hours of community service may not be enough of a deterrent to many people. They'll still come out and do the wrong thing again.
How about taking their pictures? I mean, putting them on television and all of that?
We've done that before. And we'll still look into starting that again.
All right.
Yes.
Let's begin to take this home now because of time constraints. What's your parting thought? What's your message to our people during this period?
Our message is that we want people to go out and enjoy Lagos State, the Center of Excellence. Enjoy the good work that our governor has been doing. You have very nice modern transport options, the Blue Line, the Red Line, with many more coming on. We have a lot of activities this Christmas and New Year season, lots of concerts. We want you to go out, enjoy yourself safely, and once you're finished having fun, make sure to manage your waste, containerize your waste, don't dump it on the road so that you can come out tomorrow and enjoy the environment again.
All right, then. We'll leave it at that for now. It's nice having you in the building.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, and we're hoping that we can have you more frequently during the new year.
We'll definitely do that.
Okay, then. So that's how far we go. The lines are still buzzing, but we have to go this morning. We've looked at Lawma's strategies for effective waste management during this season and, of course, projecting into the future as well. You've heard from him some of the innovative strides they're bringing on board starting from January 2025. Maximum thanks to my producer this morning. Mike James has produced. Olamide Odukoya and Victor Akintola, both from the photography department of Lawma. They're here as well. And maximum thanks also going out to Folashade Kadri, Director of Public Affairs for Lawma, who's made this program possible this wonderful morning. Our social media team, Okpa Emishodunke and Afe John, we do appreciate you. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid day. Bye.
Lagos where we dey must be clean, yo. I go do my best, make you do your own, oh. Yama yama dirty.